Hey guys, it's Jade. I just realized that I hadn't done a story time in quite a while. I was thinking about something good to tell you guys. And I guess I wanted to like kind of tell you like stories that I have going to 106 in Park. So if you don't remember what 106 in Park was, 106 in Park was kind of like the black TRL, basically. So it was on BET, whatever, and it was on for I think over 10 years. I think about either about 10 years or over 10 years. So they've been on for a while, but they canceled the show about a couple years ago. So in the beginning, I used to actually just be a TRL person because I was, really into MTV like my whole life, which is MTV. And oh, side note. So I actually have a quick story. So speaking of TRL, let me tell you the time that me and my dad tried to sneak it in TRL. So this was like I was in junior high. My dad wanted to buy me a winter coat for the winter, so we went out to the city. And I told my dad, "Oh my God, can we go to TRL?" My dad was like, "No, we ain't going to somebody's TRL." So I'm like, "All right, fine." So we're going through the city, get my coat. We're on our way to the station to go back to Jersey. And so we're in Times Square. And this was back in Times Square, like before, before they changed it up. It was just normal ass Times Square. So, the MTV studios used to be in Times Square. So we stopped. All of a sudden, I'm thinking we're gonna head to Penn Station to go home. So no, my dad was like, "We're gonna get out here." So where we stop in front of the MTV or the Viacom building. So we get out and we just walked straight into the building. Literally, we just walked in, got on the escalator, and then we just seen a line of people that looked like a bunch of teenagers, and we just got in a line. Shit you not. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I may have walked by Marlon Wayans, but I could be tripping. Like I said, I was in junior high. It's kind of hard to remember. But anyway, so we literally just walked in, got in the first line we saw, and we were just in line. We just standing there. And we go, and then also I get to the door, and security's like, "Hold up, how old is she?" And mind you, I was like 11, and it's like I couldn't pull it off saying I was older because then they would have asked for ID. So he was like, "Yeah, she 11." She was like, "Yeah, nah, she can't go in because she has to be 16." So I was like, But I ended up going like a few years later. I think I was like 19 or 20 or something like that. I know I was old. It was like years ago. It's like right before they ended the show. I went to TRL like one time. But yeah, so that's like a quick little story. So yeah, so basically, a lot of my high school years, I was basically like I'm sorry, when I was in Park. Like it was so me and my friends used to go so much that we knew security. Like it was that bad. Like they knew us because we used to come there all the time, and it's like they would always just give us tickets, and it's like my mom, she didn't really care that you know I would not go to school to go to Muslim Park. Like my mother didn't care. That's probably why I ended up not graduating high school with my class because I was never there. But yeah, like I was like, man, fuck high school. I'd rather go to New York with my friends. So that's what I did. So so what happened? So the first time we went, um, you had to be 16 to go. So I didn't have a sweet 16 because my parents couldn't really afford it. So my parents were like, well, look, we'll go to Wilson Park with you since, you're not having a sweet 16. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we get to New York. It's, me, two of my friends, and my cousin, and my parents. So now I've been to New York numerous times, like too many to count. But not vaguely, but I definitely remember the first time getting on the subway. So we had to go from Penn Station to 57th Street. And we got on the subway. And it wasn't packed. Just normal amounts of people. And the thing about my dad was a show off. Like, he could never just go out in public. No, he had to, like, wear some, like, shades and just be extra because he was the definition of extra. But yeah, so we're on a train, and here he is wearing this like customized jumpsuit, and he's wearing like damn near every piece of jewelry that he owns. I'm talking earrings, rings, bracelets, necklaces. I'm just like, really? And I remember looking at these two dudes, and they're looking at him, and my dad's looking at them, and all of a sudden he just says, "Try me if you want to." I shit you not. That was the funniest shit ever. Cause one thing about my dad, he was not afraid of nobody. So he just looking at them like, you can try and mug me in this bitch if you want to, see what happened. Like, it was crazy. So we get there. I'm just cut the other, trying to wait and stuff. So we finally get inside. So like I said, they changed the set so many times throughout the years. But what ends up happening, we go inside, we're sitting down, so they put me, my friends, and my cousin on the top back row. Now, my parents didn't want to be a part of the show. They just wanted to go just to, chaperone. Yeah, whatever, just wanted to go. But they didn't want to be part of the show. So they was like, oh, they don't have a waiting room. They was like, nah. So it's like, look, we'll just put y'all in the corner. So they put my parents on the other side of the studio in this corner. So, okay. So, we're watching the show, we're enjoying the show, blah, blah, blah. And the guest was, yes, it was Lil Wayne and Birdman, right? Now, this was when Wayne was like, this had to have been like the Carter 2, maybe? Yeah, definitely the Carter 2. So, like, I was a fan of Wayne. I've always been a fan of Wayne since, like, The Block is Hot. But I wasn't, like, obsessed with Wayne. But yeah, it was just crazy, like, seeing someone, like, that close. And then, honestly, like, I remember he, like, opened his mouth to talk. And, like, I literally got blinded for, like, a couple seconds. Because all them diamonds and shit in his grill, it literally, like, blinded me. I'm like, I'm not even lying to you. It was really bright. It was insane. And it was crazy. And then also I remember, like, when we watched the episode back, they didn't even show me and my cousin. My parents got more screen time than we did. They didn't even be on the motherfucking show. I was like, are you serious? I was over it. I was like, word. They was like, well, it ain't our fault. I was like, seriously, how they gonna show y'all more than us? So yeah, I was over it. And then I remember leaving, and we were about to leave, but then it was like, oh, we think we may have more room for the Mariah show. I'm like, what Mariah show? So Mariah had a special on 106 in Park, because this was when she came back from Emancipation of Mimi. I damn near lost it. Like, I know a lot of people, Mariah these days is a little iffy, but I loved Mariah. Like, I literally grew up with her. So, and this was like the Emancipation of Mimi. This was like her huge comeback. So it was a big fucking deal. And so I'm trying to get up in there, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get in. So I was like, okay, fine. So that was one time. Another time I went was when I was like really, I've told y'all my story with Chris Brown, but I was really obsessed with Chris Brown. And this was when he was in Stomp the Yard, and he was supposed to be on 106 in Park that day. Now, mind you, I had tickets to go, but I was in class. So somehow I remember like texting my mom in class like, yo, we trying to go, but we in class, blah, blah, blah. Because we knew by the time we got out of school, we weren't going to make it. So mom was like, all right, fine, listen. I'll text you in a minute. So I think what happened was she called my friend's mom who was going with me. She called her and she was like, yo, can you call them out of class? So she literally called my friend's mom, and she called the school and got us out of school. Yes, so we got out of school, and then we went to catch the train to the city, and we stood outside, froze our asses off for hours to go in to see Chris, but we didn't end up getting in because it was just way too many people and blah, 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 so we didn't end up going in. So, so that was one instance. One time, it was me and a bunch of my friends. We were, what happened? We were waiting for one episode to go into, and then I don't know, like I said, it's kind of hard to say these people because y'all may not know who they are, or you may not remember who they are, but it was this guy named Chamillionaire. He had like that song, Dirty, like Riding Dirty. So he was there, and then Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like I said, this is more like, he came out like when I was growing up. But yeah, so I remember, I think I got his autograph or something like that. Now I definitely lost it. That was like years ago. So that was that. Another story. Oh, there's a story that like I was literally like in arm reach of Rihanna. So yeah. Okay, so here's the story. So it was another episode we went to, but me and my friends were separated. So I was in one section, my friends were in another section. And then in one part of the show, they stood, like Rihanna and the host had stood in front of my section, and I literally was like in arm reach of her. Like if I want to, I can touch her. That's how close I was to Rihanna. And like honestly, y'all, besides them fly ass boots she was wearing, Rihanna is tall as fuck in person. But I mean, most people know that she's like 6 feet, so she's tall, but like she's really tall. Like seeing it up close, she's really tall, and she's way prettier in person than on TV. Not saying that she's not pretty on TV, but she's way prettier in person. And this was like 2007, because this is when she came out with like, you know, Good Girl Gone Bad, so like Umbrella and all that shit. So that was crazy. And then I'm trying to think of something else. Another episode I went to, it was 106 & Park used to do these New Year's Eve shows, but how they did it, they didn't do them on New Year's Eve. They would film them the beginning of December. So basically how I would do it, if you wanted, it was called 106 & Party. So it was like the New Year's Eve show. So, you know, you get tickets or whatever. So I went to it twice. So me and my one friend had went. And, you know, basically instead of like wearing your regular clothes to 106 & Park, you had to kind of get dressed up. So me and my friend, we was there, and we were, you know, waiting, and all of a sudden we meet this guy, and I'm just like, oh, and we were just kind of like just, you know, chopping up with him, and he was cool. And then come to find out, it was the model Sean Ross. Now I don't know if y'all know him. Like, if I'm trying to remember, like he's pretty known in the industry. Like if you look him up, like I know he was in the Beyonce video and stuff like that. Like, but yeah, I know he was a model. And I remember that he was like, we became cool with him. He was like, yeah, yo, if y'all want to come, we about to go to this ball. And I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Come to find out, it was, you know, if you go to the gay clubs, you know how like the gay scene, they have like, you know, the ballrooms and shit like that. And I was like, damn it, had I knew, I would have went, because them shits look so lit. And even though I'm not gay, but them shits look lit as hell, and I want to go, but I didn't know what the hell it was. I'm like, well, I'm not from New York, so I know I've been to New York, but I don't really know my way all around the city like that. So he was like, nah, we just gonna go head home. But had I knew, I'm like, hell yeah, we gonna go. But yeah, so we go up there, we do the show. So basically, where we were kind of like really close to the stage. We were kind of like on the side of the stage, and like people were performing. I think it was like Bow and Omarion had performed some shit. I'm like, whatever. And like, you know, people perform or whatever. So I went there like twice. So like I said, I used to go like all the time with my friends. And the last time I went was like 2011. This was when Lady Gaga had came out with Born This Way. Now, I am a huge Lady Gaga fan. I've been a fan of hers since Jump Street. So, this was like, I think her last time going to Washington Park. But that was like my last time going. So, I wasn't close to her, but I remember they had to walk her out because she had on, y'all, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, she had on this gigantic platform heel. That's when, you know, Gaga was walking around with like the shoes with no heels. Bitch, them shits was like like, I'm fine. They was at least up to my knee. Like, dead ass. Like, them shits was so huge. And they had to walk her out. And she had to, like, sit down because obviously she couldn't stand. And I remember where they sat me. I was, like, literally, like, right next to her mother. Like, her mother was there. Troy Carter, he used to manage her. And Vincent Herbert. If y'all know, like, Tamar Braxton and her husband Vincent, then yeah, he used to manage Gaga. He doesn't manage her anymore. So he was there. And I was like, I remember I tapped the guy next to me and I was like, yo, like, that's her mom. He was like, for real? I was like, yo, she's like literally in front of us. And we were like geeking the fuck out. I was like, oh my God, it's her mom. But yeah, that was crazy. And then they gave out, you know, the Born This Way album to everyone in the audience. So I got that bitch for free. I was like, yes, I ain't have to pay. I was going to buy it anyway. But I'm like, shit, if I'm going to get it for free, then might as well. But yeah, so I think the craziest time was the time my friend ended up in the hospital. Okay, so basically it was like a group of us that we went out to, because I remember like when I used to go all the time, I think kind of like word would get around that I used to go to one of those park a lot. So like people was kind of like inviting other people. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care. So it's like a big old group of us. So we go there and, we're all sitting together. And so it's like us, and then it was a bunch of kids from Philly. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. And so during the break, you used to be able to like, get up, dance or whatever. And so it was my friend Sabrina and my friend Milan, and they were dancing, and it was like these two chicks from Philly. So they dancing, but then all of a sudden, my friend Milan busts into a split, but she ain't get up. She dislocated her fucking knee. I shit you not. Like, she did not get up off the floor. My friend was like, yo, girl, what's good? Like, and also she looked and she was like, she ain't getting up. And then I remember looking at the kids from Philly, and they was like laughing. And I was like, okay, we about to fight? Like, me and my friend, we were literally about to like beat somebody's ass. Like, I'm like, yo, she literally was like on the floor for like majority of the show. And she ended up dislocating her knee. And so they had to like wheel her out. So we had to sit through the rest of the show. So the show ends up ending. So we was like, okay, where is she? They told us she was at the hospital, was like around the corner. So we go there and we're waiting for her. And then the thing was, she was emancipated, so she lived by herself. So we was like, shit, she ain't got no family. So they was like, so we was there for a while. And I'm just like, I'm more worried about her than anybody else. Because I'm like, look, if y'all really want to go home, y'all can take y'all asses home. Like, I don't give a fuck about y'all. Like, I'm making sure she's good. So it got kind of tense because, you know what I'm saying? Like, people want to go home. And I'm just like, look, like, I don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all want to go home, go home. I'm worried about her. So we ended up, like I said, kind of find out she ended up dislocating her knee. And then we had to wait till, like, one of her relatives to come get her, come all the way out to the city to come get her. So that was, like, the craziest shit that happened. Because I'm like, yo, and then, like, after we went to 106 and Park, after that, like, they made it a rule to where, like, you can't do that no more. Like, it became a rule because she ended up dislocating her knee. Like, she ended up hurting herself to the point, like, so all of a sudden, like, time later, we went back, and then they would break down security would break down the rules, and they was like, yeah, no busting in the splits. And we all looked at each other. We was like, oh shit. Like, they was talking about her. So it was like, yeah, so you couldn't, like, do no crazy shit at the show anymore. But that was really, like, the craziest shit that I'd ever seen. Like, when I went to, went to 106 and Park. But like I said, I used to go so much back in high school. Like, me and my friends used to go all the time. That's probably why I didn't end up, like, graduating with my class. But, I mean, I didn't really give a damn about high school anyway. I really didn't care. Like, I hated the people there. I really didn't give two shits about high school at that point. Like, I just didn't want to be there half the time. So I was like, I'd rather be in New York with my friends than being in high school, but that's really bad. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if this story is like as entertaining as my other stories, but I just, that's just something that was a huge part of my life a few years ago, back when I was, in high school and stuff like that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, new story time. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.